Hello, I am King of Cake 345.
Place, and you're watching Disney Channel.
And today we will be ranking Luigi's Mansion 3 bosses. These are all my opinions, so if you think I should put a boss higher or lower, you can say that in the comments. Also, I'm not going to count Polter Kitty or Boolossus as a boss fight, because Polter Kitty just doesn't feel like one, and Boolossus is a scare scraper boss, so grab your poltergeist because we're going ghost hunting. The 17th spot goes to Chambria because you're looking for Egad's suitcase, but she takes it. And then she notices you, then eats the suitcase. And then she escapes the room. So you're going from room to room looking for her. And then ghosts start coming in, and it just wastes your time because you have to beat the ghost before you can move on through the fight, and it's just a really annoying fight, and I did not enjoy it. And the 16th spot goes to Steward. And you might be asking why. He's very simple. Even Chambria was way cooler and not as simple. Well, no. I like this boss better than Chambria because you're not moving from room to room to get it. And it's a pretty good first boss. All he does is throw luggage at you and then you get the chance to attack. Pretty simple, but I really liked it when I played it. And the number 15 spot goes to Sipsy, or Sipkai, Sipsai. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm just going to say Sipsy because that's probably how you pronounce it. The reason I hate this boss, the Egyptian area of the game was very frustrating for me for all the traps and stuff. I really did not like that part of the game. And this boss isn't even that good. So she makes this sand thing of her face, and you need to suck away all the sand and then it turns small, and then she'll come out and she gets this thing of snakes around her, and the snakes will shoot darts. But if you get hit by the darts, you can't attack her. You get no time to attack her. In most of the bosses, you get hit, you lose damage, and then usually you have a little bit of a time to attack them, around 8 seconds. No. When you get hit, she just goes right back into the sand thing, and it's so annoying. The number 14 spot goes to Chef Souffle. Honestly, he was kind of just boring. So basically, he just spins around with his pan, and then he stops, and then he gets mad that he didn't hit you, so then he bangs himself, and then you use your suction shot, put it on his pot, then suck his pot off of him, and then you can attack him. But I just found it super boring. Honestly, I feel like a better boss fight would have been something he would cook this concoction of different foods or something. Maybe he'd cook a food and then you have to defeat that food because it'd be possessed by a ghost or something, like a ghost food, and then you'd get the chance to attack him. And that, I feel like that would have been a little bit funner for me, in my opinion, but that's all. And at number 13, we have Johnny Deep End. The reason I put him here is because I just found him really boring. So what you do is you get Luigi to the other side behind him. You gotta hide behind a few things because Johnny Deep End will spit water out at Luigi, and then Johnny Deep End will also throw volleyballs at Luigi. So what you'll have to do is get Luigi to hide behind one of the pillars and then stuff, and then grab one of Johnny Deep End's volleyballs, hit Johnny Deep End with one of the volleyballs, so then Luigi can change the water level to make Johnny Deep End get sucked into the drain at the bottom of the pool, so then you can attack him. But once he gets drained at the bottom of the pool, that's it. Like, the fight's over. You suck him up. He only has like 60 health, so he's way too easy. At the number 12 spot, we have Cruller. Originally, I was going to put Johnny Deep End here, but then I found out, yeah, Johnny Deep End's way worse. But that doesn't mean Cruller is good. Cruller's not that good of a boss fight. So basically, Cruller's on the other side of these bars, and only Luigi can go through them. So you go through them, suck off his glasses, and then flash him. But it's not that simple, because he then has a water gun, and he'll squirt it at Luigi, because if Luigi gets hit by water, he like melts into the water. So I'd constantly Luigi would die, and then I'd constantly have to respawn him, and it was just really annoying to fight. And instead of like feeling accomplished when I beat him, I would just like, finally, it's over. At number 11, we have Dr. Potter. I put him here because, so like, he has this plant and it bites onto a tree, and then a chainsaw thing was inside of the tree. Still wonder how it got in there. And then you suck up the chainsaw to cut the plant. But how do you cut the plant? Well, you gotta get it to grab onto one of these, look like these pumpkin-looking things with like bumps. I think they're pumpkins. Well, you gotta get him to bite onto one of them. But sometimes I get him to get like really close to bite onto one. Like, oh, he was just like a slight bit away from it. And then it got annoying. And then once he bites onto one, you cut the plant, and then Dr. Potter gets mad and goes to plant another one. And sometimes when I'm trying to capture Dr. Potter, he grows a plant way too quickly, and I don't get enough time to grab onto him. You get sometime, but like sometimes I felt like he got a plant way too quickly. So that's why I put it at number 11. Okay, we have 10 more bosses left. So these last 10, I don't think are bad. I think they're pretty good, but just I don't think they deserve the glorious, magnificent number 1 spot. So at the number 10 spot, we got DJ Phantasmagoria. I'm not going to be able to remember that name, so we'll just refer to her as DJ Girl and the dancing dude, because there were some pretty mighty fine dancers in her dance group. So basically, you need the key to the final floor. Then this dance group, who do I mention? They dab. Maybe it's because they're dead and they're doing dead memes because they're dead. It's a dead meme, and ghosts are dead. But anyways, one of them has the elevator button, and the one with the elevator button is doing some of the dance a little differently. So then they do this spin attack, and you gotta just dodge all them. They're going like, and then they start doing the worm, and then you can find the one that has the key and then start catching him. And then once you have the one that has the key, DJ Girl is like, that's no good. Like, wagging her finger. And she grabs the key. And then she grabs her DJ disc. And they're on fire. Maybe that means her and the DJ dude's dancing and DJ skills are on fire. Lit. But anyway, she throws them at you. And then you gotta do your, air jump move to knock off her wig. And then you can attack her because that's her protection. So that's basically most of the fight. And I enjoyed the fight a lot. This next spot is pretty long, so if you want to skip it, that's okay. And the spot was just the skeleton T-Rex and Oog. So basically, you're just in the Unnatural History Museum trying to get towed. Then this dino comes behind you and's like, you don't get towed. And then he eats the painting Toad's trapped in and stores it in the core of his body. And then he eats it. By storing it up in the core of the body, he eats it. So basically and then now the boss fight begins. So there's these two pterodactyl things holding eggs, and he'll jump up and down, making the things fall down. And then you'll need to suck up one of the eggs, shoot it at him, and then he'll eat the egg. And while he's eating the egg, you shoot another egg at his core, and you've hit him. Then the second phase, he gets rid of one of the pterodactyls, so you'll need him to eat something else. And sadly, the person he'll be eating is our gooey friend, Luigi. F in the chat for Luigi. So basically, he munches down on Luigi. His teeth are all stuck by all the goo, and then you can hit him with an egg. And then his third phase begins. So basically, he breaks free from the pool that he is stuck on. And now he's walking around smashing the other dinosaurs. And then the dinosaurs will drop bones. And then you'll have to shoot the bones back at him. So once you do that, he gets knocked over. And then the final phase starts. So, the dinosaur breaks. And inside of the dinosaur was a caveman named Oog. And he's all like, what just happened here? And then he sees you and's like, uh-oh, stinky. And then he grabs one of the bones from the dinosaur as a club, and he will do the slam attack thing. And then he's in the ground, and basically he'll do this big slam attack and get stuck in the ground, and then you get to catch him. And I thought this fight was super fun. So at the end of the water machinery boiler place, I really didn't like that level. And in the Egyptian pyramid level, I didn't like it, so I didn't like the boss. But this was different. I loved the concept of the boss fight, and it was just super fun. So Luigi wakes up Clem, who's trying to sleep. So Clem pulls a lever to drown Luigi. Pretty dark. But then Luigi jumps on a rubber ducky, like a big rubber ducky floaty, and then Clem's like, you weren't supposed to do that one. And then Clem gets on a rubber ducky, and around you are spikes. So he'll like throw mines and spin around and then stuff. So you're gonna need him to get hit by the spikes. Now, do you do that? Either get him to get hit by a mine or make him spin around and stuff. And then you blow him into the spikes, and then his rubber ducky balloon thing pops, and then you climb up the ladder and then go start sucking him up. And I loved this fight. It was just such a cool concept. Fighting a ghost on rubber ducky floaties. And then number 7 spot goes to King Boo, the main baddie of the game. I really liked it better than the Dark Moon King Boo boss fight because he has some, I think, better attacks. So King Boo will like shoot some lasers out of his crown. He can like use his tongue to slap you and stuff like that. And then he can use his crown to shoot fire out. And then he'll shoot like spikes that have bombs in them, and then you just blow the bombs back into his mouth, and then his mouth explodes like he ate some spicy chili or something. And then you suck on his tongue with the help of your good friend Luigi. And then you just slam him around a few times into the floor, and then some cracks go into the floor. He might drop a heart or something. I feel like it would have been cool if the cracks in the floor like would break, so you wouldn't have as much room. And then he spawns in a second King Boo. The only difference is second King Boo has like vampire teeth, so that's how you can tell the difference. And they only have one new attack, this slam attack thing, where they'll slam you, and then the real King Boo will send shockwaves, so you have to do your air jumps over it. Pretty easy to dodge. And then you just shoot a bomb into the mouth of the right King Boo, and then his mouth explodes once again, and then you get the help from your good friend Luigi once again to do some slams on him. And now he's had enough with your shenanigans, so now he makes the painting a million times bigger to put the mansion in the painting, so you gotta make him not do that. So this time he has 3 King Boos. Still, they both have vampire teeth, and you're timed, because in 3 minutes the mansion will be put into a painting, so you gotta act quick. But still pretty easy. You can put the bomb in his mouth. I really enjoyed this fight. I thought it was better than the Dark Moon fight. It would have been cool if they had one of those hallway chase scenes like in Dark Moon, but that probably would have just, like, people would say they just copied it. But I really enjoyed this fight. And at number 6, we have Amadeus Wolfengeist. The reason I put him here is because he was like one of the first bosses. Like, he was the first one to be like, so this is what bosses are gonna be like. Because originally all you got was Cruller, Chambria, and Steward. So he sends some chairs flying at you, and it's pretty simple to dodge them. Just run away from them. But then, once you survive all of the chairs, he sends out ghost ballerinas to take care of you. But also, they're pretty easy. All you have to do is, like, suck off their masks, and then you can attack them. Pretty simple to beat. But he does send out a few, so it does get a little tough. And then you get to suck him up because he'll go on the stage and you just gotta shoot a bomb into him and then pull him off, and then you can start sucking him up and stuff. But then he'll just like go back in his piano and stuff like that. So you'll have to do it a few times. And I thought this was really cool because like it's like you're fighting the Mario 64 piano, and like this boss fight was just like really cool. Like, it was the first one that felt like a boss. So then you just take him off the stage, and then you can suck up this Mario 64 piano wannabe. And at number 5, we have Helen Gravely. I put her here because she's like a test of skill between Luigi and Luigi, because you use both of them constantly during the fight. I think it's like a test of skill between them. So Fish, she has this like thing where she spins around lasers and you just have to do one of those jumps over them and they get faster when they spin. Pretty easy. And then Luigi needs to go down the drains because there's these colored walls and you have like some pretty small space, but you can turn them off and stuff. Once you turn off the colored walls, you'll have a big space to attack Helen Gravely. And I thought that was really cool of how you don't have to turn them off. I usually would turn some of them off, but so you can have like a little space or a big space. And then Helen Gravely will then decide to like make like a 3-way laser. So she does a normal laser attack usually, and then she'll make like a laser that has 3. And you can't jump over this one, you have to run from it. So yeah, and sometimes she'll do it where there's 2 3-way lasers at once, so you have to like stay in between. And I thought that was like pretty cool. And then she decides to come back out and attack and then flood where Luigi is to reset all the buttons that are flooded. It resets all of them, and then Luigi would get killed. But still, you can escape it, and I liked this fight because it was a test of skill. And the number 4 spot goes to Nikki, Lindsay, and Ginny. I thought the magic area of the game was pretty confusing, and this boss fight was kind of confusing, but I really liked it. So they'll just be shooting cards at you, and they're hiding in little hats. So they're shooting their cards at you, and then they start spinning around and stuff. So you just gotta wait, and they'll shoot some cards while they're spinning around. You can like jump over them or just dodge them. And then they come in and they have blades, but you can just do the jump thing to move them out of the way. And then you pull the hair out of one of the hats, and then that's one of them. So then you just slam them a few times, suck one of them up, and now you got one of the sisters down. And then the 2 other sisters get very mad. So they put a bomb in one of the hats. So you have to keep track which one has the bomb to find out which one has the sisters. That one Mario Toad House has been training me for this. So basically, and then you do the same air thing, and then you gotta go pull on the one that does not have the bomb in it, and then you reveal one of the other sisters. So then you just suck them up as well, and just slam them a few times. And then now there's one sister left, and so you're doing a spinning thing this time. It's the same thing, but then the lights flash off and on, so it's harder to keep track which one is the sister and which 2 are the bombs. But then with enough concentration, you can find out. And now at number 3, we have Captain Fishhook. So, when I came on the pirate ship, I expected a skeleton ghost boss thing, and he'd use his skeleton crew to help him. I did not expect a pirate shark that would possess some of the pirate ship. So basically, he takes some of the pirate ship, and then there are the ghosts that throw bombs. And the pirate ship thing will like open its mouth and come towards you, so then you have to blow the bombs into his mouth, and then he'll explode. So then you can start sucking him up. So basically he does this big attack and his hook gets stuck kind of like and his bone, and then you start sucking him up. Pretty simple. just suck him up a little bit, and then you can do your slam. Then you have to do the thing with throwing bombs in his mouth again, and then you can suck him up once again. So then, the second phase starts. This time, instead of using the bottom of the ship, he uses one of the sides. And he possesses it, gives it teeth and a mouth and eyes and eye patch. And then he'll start tipping the ship left and right, and those throwing ghost things will still be there, and you'll have to throw them in his mouth, but he will tip the ship and make you fall into his mouth, and you have to use your suction shot on one of the pieces of wood to stay on. And if you fall into his mouth, you'll have to quickly mash the A button a lot. So, and I really like this boss. He kind of looks like the ice boss from Luigi's Mansion 2, and that boss sucked. This is the uncle to the ice boss. This is what the ice boss wants to be, but it never will be as good as Captain Fishhook. So at the number 2 spot, we have King McFrights. The level leading up to his boss fight was like really, really fun and one of my favorites. It was all like medieval and castle themed. And then you get into this coliseum with like a cheering crowd. And he gets into this metal armor knight suit that's connected to a horse, and he has a lance and a shield and stuff. And he'll start just like riding it around and stuff. And he'll try to attack you, and he'll catch you on his lance and swing you around, and then, like, stuff. And then there's these little castle things that he'll make darts come out of, and during the fight, more and more darts start coming out of them. And then he'll do this charge attack, and then he'll pop his head out for a little bit, and you're going to want to strobe light him. And then you'll use your suction shot on his armor, and then start smashing up his armor. So you'll get his armor weaker and weaker the more you get through the fight. And then you do it one last time a little bit later in the fight, and then you'll smash up his armor. But now he has no armor to use, so he's gonna use his new attack with his sword and shield, Pokemon Sword and Shield. So he'll start spinning around with it, and he'll get dizzy, and then you can suck him up. And I just like really loved this fight. I wish it lasted longer. I just had so much fun with it. And at number 1, we have the Godzilla fight. My favorite level in Luigi's Mansion was Paranormal Productions, and the boss fight was amazing. Sure, the boss fight is really easy, but it's still really good, and I wish it lasted longer. So basically, this ghost named Morty wants to make a movie, and he wants you to be the actor in it. And then there's this other ghost in a Godzilla costume destroying the city. So since this is his movie, you gotta stop Godzilla, because that's how it happens in mostly all movies. So like you're in this tiny city, and Morty's recording you and stuff, and like the Godzilla monster's just destroying the city, and then he'll make this like blue orb thing, and you gotta push it back at him, and then he'll get hit by it and then get hurt, and that's a hit. And then he'll like start breathing fire and stuff, and then he'll like try to destroy more of the city, and most of his attacks do 20 damage, so they're pretty powerful. And then he makes this green orb, and you need double the power, so you get the help from Luigi, and then you hit him. And then he's on to his last and sadly final phase, where you blow the thing back at him once again, with the help of Luigi. But this time, he's fighting even more ferocious. He does a big wave of air, and then you need to mash the A button to get it to land back at him. And this boss fight was like super fun. And Paranormal Productions is like one of the best levels, and this was like a really good boss fight to end off the level. And I really liked this boss fight. And that's why I think it deserved the #1 spot. So that is the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed. It was a little different than my usual videos. I kind of just recently beat Luigi's Mansion 3 and I wanted to make a video about it. So this is what I came up with. This video was a little long. So if I ever do a video like this again, ranking stuff, I'm probably going to try to make it way shorter. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.